Home staging is still a fairly small and newish industry, and there's a lot of myths and misconceptions and misunderstandings that come with that. My name's Jake, and I've been running a home staging business along with Phoebe for 9 or 10 years now, almost 10 years, and I've heard every myth and ridiculous theory under the sun, and I'm here to bust all of those myths today. Myth 1 is that home staging is all about the design, the styling, the fluffing the cushions. That couldn't be further from the truth, and I think anybody who's worked in this industry in a role like this knows the real truth to this, which is that it is more of a logistics business than almost anything else that we do. We are constantly looking at how to work around different timelines. We're dealing with real estate agents, homeowners. There's so many things that are happening, and that's even before you talk about the trucks and the furniture and the moving everything. It is and accessories and loading cars and unloading. The actual design part is such a small component of what we do, and yet it's obviously the end result and everybody sees that. But so much about our business is all about the logistics and the behind the scenes. Myth number 2 is that the furniture is always dirty, run down, damaged because it's in and out of houses all the time. I could tell you that all the furniture we use here is so much better and in better condition than any of the furniture that is in my own house, in my own home. The furniture that we use in staging, it has to be near perfect, if not perfect. It needs to be visibly very good, clean, undamaged. It has to fit the purpose. People are paying a lot of money for this service. If we were putting furniture that is damaged or dirty into houses, we wouldn't be getting the referrals and we wouldn't be in business for very long. Now, we avoid all of that because you have professional removalists. We have people who are very good at what they do. They have processes that in place to make sure this stuff doesn't happen. Now, what I will say is that there is sometimes where when you're moving furniture that is designed to be in place and not moved, there can be damage. There can be little things like that. But it then doesn't get used in the next one before it's either repaired or we decide it can't be used again. So that is definitely a myth, and a good home staging business won't use furniture like that. Myth number 3, all of your jobs, all of the homes you stage look the same because it's just reusing the furniture. That might be the case for a first-time stager, somebody who is either very small and has a very, very limited stock selection, or somebody who maybe hires their furniture from a different company and doesn't have the choice. But any staging company of kind of any significant size or scale will have their own warehouse and their own stock. And I know that most companies, and us definitely, we go out of our way to make sure that every job is different. So while we might use the same sofa, we'll never use the same living room. We'll never use all of the things from one room and use it in a different property. We actually take a lot of pride in making sure that we buy such a huge variety and range of things that no property looks the same as the next. And I think that comes down to the staging company. That myth has a little bit of truth to it, depending on where you're looking and like I said, the scale and size of a staging company. But the majority of bigger businesses out there, this is not a problem. Myth number 4, staging companies make a huge margin on every job. This is an interesting one because it comes back to not understanding what goes into running a business like this. Staging can be quite an expensive thing to do when you're selling a house, and we know that it's an investment. It's something that delivers more value on the back end, but it's still a big dollar number for a lot of people. That in itself can make people think that the margins, the profit on each job is actually very high. And honestly, it's one of those things where unless you're in there and you understand all the things that go into running a business like this, it's hard to explain. But there's rent, there's a big warehouse, there's buying the furniture, there's the people that have to go into it. Often the number of hours that are spent on a single job is much larger, 5, 6, 7 times the number of hours actually on site, which is what people see. So the margins per job very much come back to the business model and the things going on behind the scenes to make each job happen. I think the other thing there is we as a business have a minimum that we would charge. So we have a minimum we don't go below. And that's purely because to get a truck on the road with the people and the things, the insurances, all the bits that have to go into a job, if it is too small a job, it's actually not worth us doing because we lose money on those ones. So definitely a myth that is based on not understanding the true nature of what a staging company does. Myth number 5 is that we can just make lots of changes last minute and it's an easy thing to change. We pride ourselves here in our business at being very flexible. We have a lot of options, we've got a big team, and we're capable of making last minute changes. But the assumption that it is just, oh, can I ring up and say, do you know what, let's add that extra bedroom on the morning of the install. When we talked about how much of a logistics company this is, those sort of changes are very difficult to make and not disrupt the flow of everything else that's happening. We, like I said, we pride ourselves on the ability to say yes to things, and often we can make that work, but it is never an easy thing, and many companies don't have the ability to do that within the team and the resources that they have available. Myth number 6 is that the stylist who's there, the lead stylist on site doing the job, is the one that's done all the selections and is across everything. This might be true for some very small businesses, for the one person or two person solopreneur type businesses, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the reality is that for larger companies who have the ability to be flexible and have faster turnarounds and say yes to things that other companies can't, is that there is a team of people involved in any one staging job. Now we, for instance, for any one job, we will have people doing all of the quoting and things in the background and passing on all the information to the next team they communicate, they do all the things they need to make sure they haven't missed anything, but they'll be the ones that go and do some of the selections. Now we have a team that selects the furniture, for instance, and then that is then given to the lead stylist on the day to do all the other bits, all the artwork and accessories and cushions and linen. Now that works for us because we have a really, really great process and a good communication process to make sure that none of that's missed. But often the person on site on the day wasn't the one that started the whole thing. They will have all the information available, but if the home seller is there, often that assumption is this person knows or has been involved right from the start. Now our job is to make sure that that myth keeps perpetuating, because if that person thinks that, we've done a good job of making sure that the lead stylist on the day has all the information and can answer all the questions. But that doesn't necessarily mean that there's not other people behind the scenes doing a lot of that work. Myth number 7 is that the price or the cost of home staging is based on the price or value of the home. Now, I think there's maybe some correlation. There's a little bit of truth to this, because a much more expensive home will generally be either a particular area, is after a particular buyer, is a particular size of house, and all of those things can factor in. The size of the house is probably one of the biggest factors, but also if it is a prestigious house or a luxury house or something like that, where you are after a certain price point and you need a certain type of buyer, there is particular furniture or things that you want to do with that house that you wouldn't do for another house. So where the value of the property is higher, often there are things that will drive the price of the staging up as well. But it's not as simple as higher price for the home, higher price of staging. We have a minimum. We have a minimum cost to go out, where a very, very small house might not justify it because it doesn't feel like there's enough furniture going into the property. But there's still all the things that have to happen in the background. There's all the planning, the prep, the loading, the insurances, there's all the things that go with that. So I can see that there's a little bit of truth to this myth, but I think it's oversimplified. I think it really is a case-by-case dependent. Myth 8 is that our sales process is going to be dependent on when we can book in the staging, and we need to work around the stager. This is true in some cases, and is very dependent on the staging company and what their capabilities are. For us, we know that it's a goal of ours to never have a lead time more than about a week. And that's because we should be fitting around what you're doing. Your sales campaign, your process has a number of moving parts, and we never want to be the thing that holds that up. You're working with potentially other trades and things to get ready. You're working with photographers. The real estate agent has their own deadline. We have the opinion that we should fit in with that. And our job is to make sure that we have all the resources and capability within our team to make that happen. The myth that you have to work around the staging company, it definitely happens in smaller businesses and with smaller businesses who don't have the capability or capacity to maybe do that. So depending on who you contact, there's always companies that might have a very long lead time, 4, 5, 6 weeks. We've seen that. And then you have others who have a business that's kind of built around being able to say yes and work around your timeline. That myth has a little bit of truth, but not if you come to Foxy. So those are probably the most common myths that I hear, particularly if we're talking about logistics and kind of the inner workings of a staging business. If you'd have some other myths or things that you've heard that you'd like me to maybe give you my opinion on, I'm happy to answer those. Leave them in the comments. And if you really like this sort of content as well, please consider giving us a subscribe, and we'll keep putting this sort of stuff out for you.